Hi! In this video, we'll be talking about modules. So, you've actually already seen modules in Python. In a lot of programs, we've been importing the math module. When we import the math module, we have access to all these awesome functions like square root and absolute value and exponents. So the math module gives us access to all of these functions. The way we've been doing this is at the top of our program, you simply write import math, and then all throughout the program, you can use things like math.squareroot, math.pow, math.abs. And so this is one example of a module. The math module provides several pre-made functions that are very useful. Rather than defining square root and pow and floor and abs on our own, we can just import these from the math module because they've already been made for us. So introducing modules. Modules are simply Python files that contain definitions that can be classes, functions, variables, etc. And if one Python file wants to use the definitions that exist in a separate Python file, it just needs to import the separate file as a module. This is a very useful way of splitting up functionality across several files in Python. You don't want one file to get massive, holding all of your definitions. You want to split it up. So maybe you'll have the math module and the string module and the animal module, things like this. So let's revisit the animal class. We have an animal class. It does a lot of cool things. But what if we want to use the animal class in a separate program that's not animal.py? Well, all we have to do is import the animal class as a module. So here in animal.py, we have the definition for the animal class. Then over in main.py, all we have to do is import animal, and then we can start making our own animal objects and calling methods on them. We can create an animal object A, that's animal.animal, and call a.greeting, and it'll print out, hi, I'm animal. Note that the name of the module that you want to import is simply the name of the file. So if we want to import the animal.py file, we just write import animal. The name of the module is just the name of the file without .py. Now, it's important to note that modules have their own namespaces. If we import the animal module into main, it doesn't mean that we have the animal name inside of main.py. We only have the name lowercase animal inside main.py. So we can't say a equals big animal because uppercase animal only exists inside animal.py. Instead, we have to hop into the module's namespace by saying animal.animal. So if we want to use names that exist inside the module, we have to hop into the module namespace. So when importing a module, we need to note that it doesn't import all the names inside the module. It simply adds the module name to the current namespace. If we want to access names inside the module, we just precede it with module.name. For example, math.squirt or animal.animal. So if we want to get to the squirt name inside the math module, we just say math.squirt. Now, there are many types of ways that we can import a module. So the classic way we've been doing is we import the name of the module. If we import math, then we can get to all of the functions inside the math module by saying math.function name, such as math.squirt or math.pow. But we can actually pick particular names to import from the math module. We can say from math, import square root. And now square root is a name that exists inside of our program. We can print out the square root of 25, square root of 9, and this will actually print 5 and 3. Square root is now a name that exists in the current namespace. We can also import multiple names. We can say import square root and pow, and now square root and pow are both functions we can call without needing to say math.squareroot or math.pow. If we want to import every single name that exists inside the math module, we can say from math import star. And star is just a special character that means import everything. Give me every name that exists inside the math module. And now I can use all those names here in my program. So these are why modules are so useful. We can split out code across many files and still access the names, the code, inside separate files just by using these import statements. And these are the different types of imports. We can import just the module, and then if we want to use a name, we have to precede it with module.name. We can import particular names from the module, or we can just import every single name from the module. So now it's your turn to go in and try out importing some modules.